Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare here, going with you on the 21st of June 2023. I'm joined today again by psychic medium and remote viewer Liz Cross. How are you doing today, Liz?
Very well, thank you. Unlike these people here,
Right.
Lots of people are wanting us to do this one.
Yeah, so we put it to the top of the list. Let's jump the queue because of the situation. Right. Okay. So we've got an Ocean Gate submersible submarine at the bottom of the ocean going around looking for the Titanic. We haven't heard back from it for a couple of days. Obviously, people are getting seriously worried. Right. Can you get a connection with this situation, please, Liz?
Yes.
So can we just look at the submarine first? And I don't have a picture of the sub, do I? No.
It's at the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
There hasn't been an implosion. I know that people are speculating that there was an implosion. I'm not picking that up.
Well, if there's an implosion, then the submarine's gone, isn't it? There is no submarine if it implodes. I mean, that's because of pressure on the hull or something like that. Okay, so let's just start with some questions. Let's look at what's happened to the submarine. Is it a design flaw or some technical issue, or has it got stuck somehow in the wreckage of the Titanic?
Okay, so I'm gonna probe the guy in charge, who is the CEO. Mm-hmm. I know there's quite a few people on there, but let's probe Stockton Rush, because he's going to have more information than possibly the rest. He's still alive.
Okay. So
at this point, we have to say that this is what time? 2:15 BST. UK time.
Yeah. Okay, so he's still alive. So does he know what's happened to the submarine? Is it a design flaw or is there a technical issue? Two questions. Or third question, has it somehow got itself stuck in the wreckage of the Titanic?
No, but it's right next to the Titanic. Is this a tech issue? This is a technical issue.
Right. Why is there no communication possible currently between the sub and the mothership?
They've lost power.
Okay, so what is the current situation as regards oxygen? In other words, the air they're breathing.
It's running out, and they're cold.
How much time do they think they have left for oxygen?
Only a few hours. And he's trying to teach them how to conserve the oxygen with their breathing. They're not talking because talking takes up air and oxygen.
Absolutely. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Course,
but that's what I'm getting. Everybody's in silence. Some of them are laying down. Some of them are going to try to go to sleep because they think that it's over.
Okay. Is there an issue with
worried?
Right. So is there an issue with food or water? Do they have enough for now?
Do you have any food? They have a little bit of food. Do you have any water? They're running out of water. And is the bathroom or the toilet on board working? No, the toilet's not working either.
Right. Okay.
Is it pitch black? Yes, they're in total darkness.
What's going through the minds and the hearts of these individual crew members or people on board?
Well, this the CEO, what's going through? Do you think you're going to be rescued? He says no. He doesn't believe they're going to be rescued. It's impossible to rescue.
Why is it impossible to be rescued?
Why is it impossible? Because nobody goes down that far. Did you know that? He says, I've always known that.
But I mean, the US government, has access to surely some very, very deep water rescue equipment. Do they not have anything? The US Navy, the US Coast Guard, do they not have anything that can? I mean, they know where they are because they know where the Titanic is. So surely they should be able to locate the sub. But how do you get equipment to? I don't know. Okay. Right.
Let me ask him this question, because that's a big red flag.
Right.
Which is, he just said to us, he's always known that there was no rescue. That's huge. So I want to probe on that a little bit more.
Okay.
Do you believe that you're completely irresponsible because you took people down there, you sold this without the possibility of a rescue? He says they knew what they were getting into.
Right.
They knew that there was no possibility of a rescue.
Has this particular submarine unit ever been down on another trip or anything? Has it ever been down to this kind of depth before?
It has, but not frequently. And what I'm getting is they did a lot of tests, lots and lots and lots of tests. However, there were lots of failures on these previous tests. Lots of mechanical, technical failures. It was always a massive, massive risk going down to the Titanic with all the failings in place. Let me ask him this question. Did you advise these people that were buying tickets about all of these failures? No.
Did they need some kind of permission or anything to go and do this dive from anywhere or any authority?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
So this is really an unregulated problem.
Yeah. Well, it's probably outside. It's probably in international waters, in which case there is no jurisdiction as such.
So, right.
Yeah, because where the Titanic went down, I think was in international waters.
Okay. And how is everyone feeling? Well, they hate my guts, he says. They feel that they've been lied to. They feel that I've sold them out, that I've taken them on a death mission.
Okay, so this is a question. This is a question. So, what is the sole lesson of this experience? Why did they have to go through this?
Why did they have to go through this? Ooh, God, this is a really harsh probe. People are not going to like these answers. Are they going to survive? These people are not going to survive. Okay. And that's unfortunate. And the reality is, because I can do mind probes other than each other, I'm probably the last person talking to them while they're alive. and that, that gives me chills.
Mm.
No, nobody else is doing this. Nobody else is doing the mind probe. And it's kind of, puts everything into perspective. Am I going to get overly emotional about it? No. Not saying I'm a hard person, but I have a job to do and I have to report the facts. So you have to set your emotions aside.
Right.
But the life lesson is that money got the better of them.
Right.
And this is what their souls are going to carry away from the earth plane, even though they're at the bottom of the ocean. It's that they completely, I'm sure they're very philanthropic people, and I'm sure they're good people and all that. But from what spirit is telling me and what the soul is telling me is that money got the better of them. They felt they were invincible. This was a trip of a lifetime. Obviously, now it's turned out to be. Were you able to even see the Titanic? They got a small glimpse of the Titanic. Then they lost power. Mm. And when they lost the power, it was on impact.
So they hit the Titanic with the sub?
Did you hit the Titanic with a sub? No, when they hit the floor, the floor, that's when it was a hard impact, and that's what caused the issues.
Okay, but all right, so the question has to be asked, why did they hit the floor so hard? Surely they have depth sounders and everything. They knew they were going towards the floor. Why would they essentially, ram the floor, so to speak?
Why did you ram the floor? There was a malfunction that caused them to, slam down. I mean, they were the level, the speed that they were going was not unanticipated, right?
Right.
But as they got closer, that something happened. There was some sort of malfunction, and they went down. That's what knocked the power out. And whatever
Right.
those little rod things are on the bottom of the vessel, they completely broke.
Right. So just looking up here, it looks like the Titanic is about 12,500 feet down, which is about 3,800 meters. That's quite deep.
See,
and I think they've had an unmanned craft down there before, documenting it with cameras and everything, down to the Titanic. I think that has been done many times, but I wasn't aware that people have been down there so much. So,
see, this is how it got the better of them, because they were given all the warnings.
Right.
This could happen, that could happen, this, that, you could lose your life this way, you could lose your life that way. It's not like they weren't given the warnings. Now, most people would walk away from this. And because of the amount of power and wealth that these guys have, they just thought that they were invincible. That's the soul lesson. They really thought, well, money can buy you everything.
Right.
It's sad, really. I mean, now they realize their mistake. And they hate themselves right now. All of them, except for the CEO. He doesn't hate himself. But the others, they hate themselves. They are the biggest regret they've ever experienced, obviously, and will ever experience in their life.
Mm. All right. Can you just hold them there and grab hold of the US Coast Guard, please?
Yes. The U.S. Coast Guard. Okay. I've got them. They don't know where they are.
They don't.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Well, they're next to the Titanic. The Titanic's location is known. Okay.
Let's ask him, how far out or how far away from the Titanic are you? Several meters.
Meters, that's nothing.
And you're bolted in from the outside. That's correct. He's saying there's, and I'm saying, isn't that kind of strange? And he says, no, because you can't get out anyway. Once you're underwater, where are you going to go?
All right, let's ask the US Coast Guard. Do they have access to recovery equipment that could go down 12,500 feet?
You have access to recovery. Not on hand, no. They're having to get things sent in,
Right.
is what I'm getting. They don't have this kind of level
No. Okay.
immediately available.
No, maybe the Navy. All right, can you just hold them, grab the US Navy, please?
Okay. All right.
Do they have access or availability? I mean, they must have things that can go down this deep. They must have recovery, wrecking cranes that can grab. Do they?
They do.
Are they on the way now to the site where the Titanic is?
They're there.
They're there.
They're there. Yes.
Yeah. All right. How's the rescue operation? Have they managed to locate the sub?
No. They can't find it.
But it's right next to the Titanic.
Yeah, but what I'm pulling is these types of operations. This is not something that, should be limited to just a certain amount of hours. These types of operation are days and days in the making, right? Yeah. This is not something that, oh, well, let me just, send my equipment down there and we'll rescue these people. Even if you get next to them, how are you going to get them out?
And well, no, I thought there might be some sort of cradle or crane or something they can grab, because at the end of the day, the submarine compared to Navy equipment is quite small, and like they can winch things out. They do it when planes go down. They pull the wreckage off the floor. They've got heavy lifting gear because of the size of the equipment these people deal with. I thought maybe they've got something that they can grab or can wrap round and then slowly bring it to the surface. That's the only way. I mean, they can't fix the sub. They have to bring it up.
That takes weeks.
Weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. Weeks. Okay.
It's not good. No. I don't feel that these people are going to be rescued on time. Let me ask this, Stockton. How many hours of oxygen do you have left? They've only got about 4 hours left as we're speaking to them now.
Right. Well, I think out of respect, we should not do any more.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, this is it. We're the last people to communicate with them while they're alive. Obviously, when they transition over, I can channel them, but I mean, I'm having the conversation with a live person, and they know this is over for them. They know it.
Right.
And one of them says, I should have listened. All the warnings and the red flags were there. This was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like they all feel like that. You know what I mean? Like, the red flags were there. They even are saying that this Stockton fella is he's unstable, as in to even attempt to do something like this, you have to have a certain level of mental illness.
Right.
No empathy, no to be such a risk taker and to not really care that you're putting people's lives in danger. I don't feel he needed the money. It wasn't about the money. It was just about being an adrenaline thrill seeker, And he's always been like that. And like you said, and so many others have said, what is the point? What is the point of going all that way down when you can just have it on a camera? Like, why? So let me ask them, what was the point? I'm not asking the CEO, I'm asking the guys. What was the point of you wanting to be on board and wanting to see this for yourselves? Why not watch it on camera? Well, now they're saying that was a big mistake. But why did you have to be there? And they're adrenaline seekers as well.
Right.
And that got the better of them.
But all these questions always come out when something goes wrong. Had this been a successful voyage, had they been up, down, already back on their way up and everything, and none of these questions would ever be asked. They're only ever asked after the event, after the problem,
Well, what is so astonishing? I just want to check this one more time. I'm sorry. I'm asking the CEO, what if you knew that there was no possibility of a rescue, did you really reiterate this point to them? And he's saying yes. If something goes wrong, we are absolutely doomed. It was made very, very clear to everyone. Now, that's the risk that he himself is willing to take. And that's who he is as a person. And he makes it sound exciting, and he makes it sound, like this is a feat of a lifetime. But the reality is, these others, while the money got the better of them and they thought that they were invincible, and they don't have the same level of mentality as him.
Right.
He's a threat. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a warped level of mentality. And I'm saying, but why on earth would you? I mean, if you want to go down there on your own, fine. You go down there on your own. Why would you even sell this to people? And he wanted to actually make a big business out of this. This was not going to be, just a one-hit wonder sort of thing, or he wanted to grow his business. Not that he was interested in the money, because I don't feel that he was. But I feel that he wanted to make this eventually a business where people could, go explore not just the Titanic, but whatever they wanted to. Eventually.
But the problem is, well, sorry, not the problem is. Another thing is, the Titanic is a watery grave, isn't it?
And can you believe that 11 years on, it's still killing people, right?
No.
Just,
Right. Yeah.
I don't understand, me personally, but that's my opinion, and my opinion doesn't count. But to me, like, I just don't understand the whole fascination with wanting to go down to a graveyard underwater. But that really sort of creeps me out. I would never do something like that. I am not a thrill seeker. I'm not a physical thrill seeker. Mental thrill seeker, yes. I'm a mental thrill seeker with using my abilities to, tap into dangerous things if I need to. But a physical thrill seeker like bungee jumping, oh no, I'm not doing any of that. That's stupid. To me, not to others, but to me, I'm like, no. And I don't like heights. But this right here, and I'm saying, so you're in total blackness, can't see a thing. They can't, they can't even, night vision doesn't even come into this. If you think about underwater sea creatures that, if anything is alive, I mean, you get down to a certain level and sea creatures are blind, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, it is very dark, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you think you could go blind? We're already blind, he says. What about the pressure? The pressure is holding at the moment, but the oxygen's running out.
Yeah.
So there is a report that, even on the screen there, the U.S. claims banging sound heard at 30-minute intervals. Is that you making the banging sounds at 30-minute intervals? You say no.
Well, maybe the media have been just told to put that out.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, the media. But
Yep.
guys making banging sounds. No, they're not exerting themselves at all.
No, and that makes sense. So, but obviously banging sounds, it feeds into hopium, whereas lying flat, keeping your mouth shut, not talking and not doing anything does not feed into hopium. So.
I see. Yeah, that's actually what they're doing. They're not.
Well, if the Navy have got equipment there, but it's going to take weeks, or I don't know why it takes weeks to do that, but even if it takes a day or two, to do this, then there's not much hope, is there?
No, unfortunately not. So these are their let's ask them anything that you want to say. Again, it's just this: I've made a huge mistake. And I'm saying to this Stockton fella, how do you feel about these people? Their lives are in your hands. And he's sort of like, not my responsibility. They knew the risks. So there you go. I mean, there's nothing more we can really say. We can ask loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of questions, but I mean, really, what does that, how does that help them at this given moment? It really doesn't.